Even when things may look like they're not going well, God is working it together for our good. For the word says, and for we know all things work together for the good to them who love God and are called according to his purpose. Any called folks in here this morning? Amen. Out of darkness into his marvelous light. Calls you by the deep news of the gospel. There's a Savior named Jesus who loved you so much he was willing to die for you. Amen. What kind of love is that? For someone to dare to die for you. Amen. That's some God-like love. When folk will give their life for you. Amen. Even while we were yet sinners, Christ died for the ungodly. You know, you do know that worship is a celebration. Amen. Worship is a celebration. We celebrate God who created everything out of nothing. We create God because in him we praise and we worship God because in him we live and move and have our very existence. Amen. Paul said our life is hidden with him. Amen. We're in his hand. And no one can snatch us out. Amen. Amen. What a wonderful day this is. And we thank God for each of you who are here, for the bold believers who are here this morning, and for those of you who are soon to become bold believers. We welcome you to the Bold Believers Church of Christ. And we pray that you're blessed as much as we are by your presence and participation in worship of God Almighty. We say welcome to those who are watching via Facebook Live. We know that if you could physically be here, you would. And so we thank you for taking the time to tune in and participate via Facebook Live. Again, a wonderful program on last night. I got very high reviews from family members who watched and tuned in to the program. And so whenever my mother says it was a great program, she don't just give out. We know it was a great program. Sister Avery and the staff did outstanding. I don't know what it is about us and food. But when we don't have some food, people show up. I don't know what the connection is. Soul food. Amen. I ain't gonna call no names, but some folk even brought their own hot sauce with it. Brought their own chow with it. I ain't gonna say no names. You know, it's usually the brothers who be throwing down. But they throwing down. I ain't gonna call her name. You talk about surgical with a piece of chicken. That sister didn't leave nothing. Nothing. I ain't seen a chicken bone that clean. Amen. I ain't gonna call her name. Amen. I saw folks walking around eating with their hands. They don't care nothing about no coronavirus. We had this great program. Amen. I was wondering, what we eat like they ain't eaten in a long time. Sorry. Great time yesterday. Amen. I ain't gonna keep you long. I got a plane to catch. Matthew 25. Matthew chapter 25. We're going to start at verse 31. Matthew 25, we're going to start at verse 31. Y'all got it? When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then he will sit on the throne of his glory. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate them one from another, as a shepherd divides his sheep from the goats. And he will set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then the king will say to those on his right hand, "Come, you blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world." Verse 35, "For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me." Then the righteous will answer him, saying, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you drink? When did we see you a stranger and take you in, or naked and clothe you? Or when did we see you sick or in prison and come to you?" And the king will answer and say to them, "Assuredly I say to you, inasmuch as you did it to one of the least of these my brethren, you did it to me." I'm going to stop right there. I want to take just a few moments to speak from a subject that's in the form of a question. It's a question that I want all of us to consider this day and to pray about and ponder, at least for this next week forward. The question is, how may I be of service? How may I be of service? Say that with me one more time. One time. How may I be of service? Say it like you understand what I'm asking. How may I be of service? Amen. I want to talk about ministry and what ministry is, and understanding the purpose of ministry, the proximity of ministry, and the prize of ministry. Ministry, first of all, is about recognizing there are people hurting and suffering in our community. Ministry begins with a recognition that there are some things wrong in our community, that there are some things that need to be addressed in our community, that there are people who are suffering physically, who are suffering spiritually, who are suffering mentally in our community or in our world. Just because things are going well for you, and just because your rent is paid, and your cupboards are full, and your job is going smoothly, and your household is intact and at peace, does not mean that there who are suffering. Just because things are going well with your children does not mean it's going well with all children. Just because you and your family are not experiencing sickness does not mean that there are not your neighbors and the people in your community who are indeed suffering from illness. So ministry begins by recognizing that there are people hurting and suffering in our world or in our community. Jesus says, look, there's some hungry folk, there's some sick folk, there's some folk in prison, there's some thirsty folk, there's some folk who are naked and need to be clothed. There are people in our world who have needs. I don't care who's in the White House, there's always going to be people in need. I don't care if we're talking about Dayton, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Columbus, Indianapolis, Atlanta, New York City. It does not matter. Wherever there are people, there are needs. And we must be cognizant of the fact that others may be hurting and suffering even if we are not. Secondly, ministry is understanding that Jesus identifies very closely with the suffering of those without. Jesus said, look, when you show kindness, love, ministry, and service to other people, you are not just doing it unto them, you are also doing it to me. I serve, and I want to be of service to others because I serve Jesus by serving others. Am I talking to any people with serving hearts? When I serve others, I'm serving Jesus. Because Jesus identifies with those who are suffering and those who are hurting. Are you following? All right. Ministry, thirdly, is about recognizing the humanity in other people. One of the ways that far right-wing thinkers and people justify not giving any care or concern about the less fortunate, the poor, those at disadvantage, and those suffering from injustices on every hand, is in a way they have removed the humanity from people outside of their group. That's what racism is at its core. It is to suggest that one group of people are superior to all groups of people. And it is Darwinian in its philosophy and thoughts. Darwin, you remember Darwin? The survival of the fittest. And so if there is a survival of the fittest, that means that there are some who are superior and there are others who are inferior. And in order for me to look at someone as inferior, I must rob them and strip them of the humanity that God gave them. And so they are not men and women, they are less than or other than men or women. So they don't call you by name, they call you by number. In the Holocaust, they put numbers. They put numbers on the Jews. In our prison system, the inmates have numbers. And what becomes more important than the name is the number. Because I no longer see the humanity in you. I see the animal. And I'm going to treat you like an animal rather than a human being. Are y'all following me this morning? Ministry. Ministry is understanding not only that Jesus identifies very closely with the suffering and those without. Ministry is about showing mercy, not judgment. It's about showing mercy, not judgment. Look at Matthew chapter 23, verse 23 and 24. Matthew 23, 23 and 24. Ministry is about showing mercy, not judgment. A lot of times, we will not be of service and cannot be of service because we are too busy casting judgment than extending mercy. Look at Matthew 23, verse number 23. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin, and have neglected the weightier matters of the law, justice, mercy, faith. These you ought to have done without leaving the others undone. Blind guides who strain out a gnat and swallow a camel. He says, you are so concerned about the smallest of the details of the law that you have forgotten what is most important, and that is ministry to people. You are more concerned about law. You are more concerned about principle or precept than you are about people. And so you can't minister to the couple, the young couple who finds themselves in the family way and they ain't married. Because you're too busy casting judgment and you're not interested in extending mercy. You can't really minister to the person who is poor, who is in need, who is disadvantaged, because you are busy judging why are they in that condition or position rather than trying to find a way to extend mercy. And so we look at people and we make judgments. And we use those judgments and we allow those judgments to give us permission to neglect ministry, to neglect mercy. Our teachers in seminary taught us that ministry is about two things. It is about names and needs. It's about knowing people and recognizing their needs and a willingness to meet those needs. And so we must ask ourselves, what unmet needs exist in our community, that exist in our world? There is an unending list of unmet needs. Human trafficking. Women and young girls are being sold into trafficking, who are kept in bondage. See, a lot of times when we think of ministry in the body of Christ, it is a very narrow perspective when it comes to our understanding of ministry. But I believe that God has put us here to be salt and to be light in the world, not just in the church building. And just because we have been blessed enough that our immediate family members may not be caught up in human trafficking does not mean that God has not assigned or called us to address this unmet need. There are children who go hungry every day. Throughout the school year, at least they can get some breakfast and some lunch. But what about on the weekends? What about on those days when school is not in session? What about the summertime? What do they have to eat then? Are we even concerned about the fact that there are children going hungry? Are we even concerned about them not having those basic necessities of food, of shelter, of a safe environment? No, but you see, we're so far behind and we're so narrow, we can't even get our own youth programs. And I'm not singling out any individual. I'm talking about us as a totality. We can't address weightier matters because we don't even have the fundamental level of faith and commitment to execute on a basic level. We leave things up to the world that God never left up to the world. Domestic violence. Sure, we have Artemis House, but that doesn't mean that they can service and reach every person in this community or in this county that is suffering with domestic violence. Believe it or not, there is a lot of silence about domestic abuse even in here. Domestic violence is not just physical. It can be mental and emotional. It can be financial. And there's a whole lot of silence about it. You see, that's ministry. Literacy programs. That's still needed. Because the more we rely on technology, the more we lose our ability to communicate using the written and the oral word. We can't write anymore. They taking cursive writing out of school. So we got a generation that don't even know how to write in cursive now. We got a generation that don't know how to read because now we got audio books. That's a problem. We have people in our community that are from other countries and English is a second language, but barely. So imagine having English as a second language barely. They know about as much English as you really know French or Russian or Spanish. And imagine going to a doctor or an emergency room and trying to tell them what's going on with you, what your symptoms are. Imagine trying to ask questions. Those are real needs that exist in our community. Those are ministry opportunities. But we won't even read our Bible. I gotta go. Look at me. Ministry. Mental health services. Addictions. Put aside judgment for a moment and ask yourself if it was me or if it was my family member, what would I want done? How would I want to be treated? I don't know, ADHD, bipolar disease, borderline personality disorder. I ain't talking about up there right now, I'm talking about up in here. Major depressive disorder, panic attacks, suicidal ideation, life adjustment issues, anger issues. There's a lot of opportunities for ministry in our community. There's a need to address all of the violence that's going on in our community. Right. These are ministry opportunities that God has called for the church to address. All right, so ministry is understanding that Jesus is going to judge us not just on the doctrinal correctness of our message, but also on the diligence of our ministry. For a lot of us as being members of the churches of Christ, we prided ourselves in our understanding of doctrine, of New Testament Christianity. And I'm not trying to bash that. But that's where most of us have stopped. And we have not taken the next step. And really, if we don't take the next step, the first step don't matter. Because it's not just about what you believe, it's about what you do. So the question I'm asking, and I'm asking you to present to yourself, is how may I be of service? Yeah, I'm a member of the Church of Christ. I can read about it in the New Testament. I believe in the government that is spelled out in the New Testament. I believe in the way we worship. I believe in baptism for the remission of sins. I believe all of that. But what are you doing? It's not just about coming in here on Sunday and getting the word. It's about getting the word that can help you go to work. And we need to understand that there is no crown without a cross. So understanding that Jesus is going to judge us based upon the diligence of our ministry. Brother Graham McGill, who preaches up in Northwest Tennessee, and Brother McGill has to be in his 90s now. Brother McGill is a wonderful preacher and singer. And one of the things, Brother McGill has never been married. He's in his 90s. He's dedicated his whole life to ministry. He never had a big church. He was never very popular, if you would, in our circles. But you talk about a faithful man who loves the Lord and has been committed to serving a group of people for years and decades. Brother McGill always sings this song, "May the work I've done speak for me." May the work I've done speak for me. What's speaking for you? If today was your last day, what work? It's going to speak for you. Ministry, I forget what point this is. Ministry requires a genuine heart of selflessness. It requires a genuine heart of selflessness. That you understand that when every day you give, that you are given by God, is not just about you. And so every day we get up, we ought to be asking ourselves the question, how may I be of service today? God, who do you want me to serve today? In what way? In what capacity? It requires a genuine heart of selflessness. Ministry is about helping other people excel in their endeavors so they can elevate the quality of their lives. Ministry is about helping other people excel in their endeavors so they can elevate the quality of their lives. Ministry is about how can I help you to climb the ladder? How can I help you to become tall and not small? If I help you improve your literacy, I can help you improve your communication skills. If I can help you improve your written and verbal communication skills, now I can help you learn how to interview. Because a lot of times the difference between getting the scholarship or getting the job or getting the promotion or getting the opportunity is based upon your ability to communicate either verbally or verbally and written your thoughts, your ideas, your dreams, your capability, and that will set you apart from everybody else. So I'm involved in teaching you how to read, teaching you how to write, teaching you grammar, teaching you subject-verb agreement, not just so that you will know those things, but so that those things can be used to help you to achieve whatever you set your heart and your mind out to achieve. Now, because you have the basic understanding of how to communicate written and verbally, now you can study anything. Now you have the capability of learning anything. I teach you basic math because now that opens the door for you to understand business concepts and business principles and marketing principles and financial strategies and investments, etc. But I gotta have the basics. How does me being hungry affect my learning? How do you learn when you're hungry? How is your life affected when you don't live in a safe environment? And you gotta worry about somebody coming in your room uninvited. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Ministry is about allowing others to reach higher places by standing on our shoulders. Allowing others to reach higher places by standing on our shoulders. It's all right if I don't reach it. But I've gotten as far as I have because I'm standing on the shoulders of Errol K. Reed. I'm standing on the shoulders of Samuel P. Thompson. I'm standing on the shoulders of Gaither Keys. I'm standing on the shoulders of James and Annie Matthews. I'm standing on the shoulders of J.W. Hunt. Are you following what I'm saying to you? We are all standing on somebody's shoulders, so let somebody else stand on your shoulder so that they can get further. I posted last week that Brother Webb has been assigned and called to the Northside Church of Christ in Hartford, Connecticut. And he is not my biological son. He is my son in ministry. I trained him. I poured into him. That's what I mean, son in ministry. And I'm delighted for him. I'm happy for him. The first church I preached for was 70 miles away from where I live. And I was getting paid less than what I was putting in. It wasn't I was glad to serve. I was glad to serve that church and preach for that church. But because he's standing on my shoulders, he ain't got to go through that. Are you following what I'm saying? He can reach higher. He already has a foundation and an opportunity to go further in ministry than I ever dreamed of doing. And I'm excited about that. And I'm so excited about that. I'm looking for other young men that I can pour into. Because I recognize and realize this ain't just about me. How may I be of service? How may I help other men and young men be able to successfully navigate through the terrain and the tapestry of congregational ministry? It ain't for everybody. But when God has called you, it's like a fire shut up in your bones. And you're not going to rest until you find yourself in the place where God has prepared for you. That's what ministry is about. Ministry is about helping other people to realize their dreams. Are you helping anybody realize their dreams? Some people only show up when it's about them. Some people, it ain't about you, Ron. They don't care. It's about them. Some people only show up to church when they got a project they want the church to support. You know what? And what we end up doing is we support them. But guess how much more support you would have got had you really been one of us and a part of us and doing like the rest of us and pouring into the lives of other people. You haven't begun to scratch the surface of what God has in store for you because you're playing. Are you helping other people to realize their dreams? Ministry is about helping people improve the quality of their lives. I want you to have a full life. I want you to know what it's like to have life and to have it more abundantly. How may I be of service? This ain't just about me.
Right.
Some folks only show up when they on program.
Right.
Some people only show up when they get the spotlight. Some people only show up when they feel like it. I know it's right. But that's all right. We ain't mad at you. We're trying to help you. Because every time I come into God's house, I leave better than when I came. So I want you to get what I'm getting. Some folks only show up as long as it's convenient. Some people only serve as long as it's convenient. It's March, so I guess we can't talk about Black History no more. It's every day. If you could go back and talk to our ancestors, ask them how convenient it was.
Right.
I wonder how many sick days Harriet Tubman took. Because if she takes sick days, some slaves ain't getting free. I mean, we so soft. We're making all our sports soft. We're making basketball and football so soft. Can't play defense. I know it's right. Amen. How may I be of service? You know, let me let y'all go. I think you get the point. So I'm going to let you go. But before I let you go, I want you to think about words of a song sang by Mahalia Jackson. The song is titled, If I Can Help Somebody. If I can help somebody as I travel along, if I can help somebody with a word or song, if I can help somebody from doing wrong, no, my living shall not be in vain. But believers, I want you to understand that I'm blessed to be a blessing. I'm saved to serve. I'm loved to love others. I'm forgiven to forgive. I'm healed to help. I'm delivered to do. I'm anointed to assist. I'm redeemed to rescue. And I'm glorified to give. How may I be of service today? Beloved, I want to help other people. I want to help them soar. I want to help them achieve. I want to help them grow. I want to help them do their best. I want to help them get all life has to offer. I want to see people blessed. I want to see people change the world. I want to see people get certifications and diplomas and GEDs and BA degrees and BS degrees and MS degrees and MA degrees and PhDs. I want to see people liberated. I want to see people recover from addictions. I want to see people give God all the glory for their personal story. I want to see people stop sabotaging their own success. I joy in worship and praise. I want to see people overcome resentment and bitterness. I want to see people healed from their hurts. I want to see the Lord break strongholds in their lives. I want to see the Lord groom you for greatness. I want to see the Lord take you from trouble to triumph. Am I talking to anybody in here today? That the Lord made you the head and not the tail. That the Lord opened doors that no man could shut. That the Lord brought you through the valley of the shadow of death. That the Lord lifted you out of the miry clay. That the Lord gave you strength when you were weak. That the Lord fed you in the wilderness of life. That the Lord prepared a table for you in the midst of your enemies. That the Lord anchored you deep in the storm. That the Lord gave you double for all your trouble. Don't you realize that what you're going through is worth what you're going to? Don't you understand that today's trouble is tomorrow's testimony? Don't you know the Lord specializes in turning things around? That he binds up the brokenhearted, that he calms anxiety, that he lifts up the heavy burden, and that he strengthens the weak. And I'm talking to anybody this morning. I serve a God who said, how may I be of service? And Jesus said, I'll be of service. How may you be of service, Jesus? Jesus said, I'll become one of them. I'll be born of a Virgin Mary in a manger, wrapped in swaddling clothes. I'll come to the world and I'll live among them for 30 years, teaching and demonstrating to them the power and the witness of God. I'll call 12 disciples to follow me, and those same disciples will be with me when I turn water into wine. They'll be with me when I cast out demons and cleanse lepers. They'll be with me when I heal a woman with the issue of blood, when I raise Jairus' daughter, when I feed the 5,000 with 2 fish and 5 loaves. They'll be with me when I walk on the water and say to the wind and the sea, peace, be still. They'll be with me when I go to Mary and Martha and Lazarus' hometown of Bethany and tell them to roll away the stone and call forth Lazarus' name so that he'll come from life after being dead for 4 days. Those same men will be with me. One of them will deny me. One of them will betray me. All of them will scatter and abandon me. But I'll still go to the old rugged tree of the cross, because I'm not here just for me. I'm here for them. How may I be of service? Jesus said, I'll be of service by giving my life a ransom for many. Jesus said, what I'll do is I'll stand before the judgment of men, and they'll lie on me. They'll bring me from judgment hall to judgment hall, and they'll say, give us Barabbas. And what they want to do with Jesus, crucify him, crucify me. They'll beat me, and they'll spit on me, and they'll mistreat me and mock me with a robe and a crown of thorns. They'll march me to Golgotha's hill, the place of the skull, and they'll hang me on a cross between 2 thieves, one on the left and one on the right. And there on the cross, I will pay the penalty for all humanity, so that everyone who has sinned, is sinning, and will ever sin, I'll pay for their sins right there on the rugged cross of the tree. And that's what Jesus said, how I may be of service, because I want to elevate their life. I want to elevate their thinking. I want to elevate their stature. There's some places I want to take them that they can't go unless I provide this service for them. And so Jesus served us in a way that we could not serve ourselves. He did for us what we could not do for ourselves. We stand on his shoulders. The only way we'll be in glory and be in that mansion is because Jesus paid the way for us. Jesus made a way for us. Jesus is the author and the finisher of our faith. He is our life in heaven is about service. In heaven, he is serving as our high priest. He's still serving because he loves us that much. So my question to you is three-part. How may I be of service? You're here this morning. We invite you to Jesus. You've heard the gospel. If you believe it with all of your heart, you're willing to give your life to him. A life of service. We got a lot of leaders. But we need some servant leaders. In Dr. Carter G. Woodson's classic book, The Miseducation of the Negro, he spoke in very raw terms about the miseducation of the Negro and how we were hurting ourselves and how our leaders were not really leaders but hirelings. And that we needed more workers. We needed more people to serve a cause bigger than themselves. Some people, it's only about them. Who are you helping to get to the next level? Whose day is you help making? Who are you going to bless today? You're subject to the same temptation. You need prayer for yourself or another. You need restoration. You want to identify with this congregation. We're ready to receive you as we stand together and sing.
This little light of mine, and you know I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, don't you know that I'm gonna let it shine? You know that this little light of mine, don't you know that I'm gonna let it shine? And let it shine.